Others may have considered this to be an absolute utter embarrassment. You know, the sort of thing where, who posted it? And then you might be looking at the legalities. But according to Meghan Markle's brand new team, the Disruptors, this was, well, a unanimous success. Even more so, apparently, with this particular demographic. As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. You all right? Isn't this gorgeous here? We're in the very heart, of course, of West Yorkshire. A lovely place if you've never been. And you can always tell, can't you, because of the stone. Everything's built to last. Well, you know what Northerners are like. We never like to spend if once will do. You know what I'm saying? And these buildings, when you look at them, you think, wow, they've been around for so many years. And when they try to convert them or knock them down for flats, they really struggle because they're so well built. The Victorians and the turn of the century, you know, a lot to be said for that. As many chums know who watch the show on a regular basis, big fan of the Victorian and Edwardian era. They built to last, didn't they? Absolutely. It's a little bit like this branding. You like that tenuous link? Yes, you see, the Sussexes, Meghan and Harry, were going to become billionaires. Who would have thought, just whirling round a few pots of jam? Now, I tell you what's interesting, you know, I cannot find a decent review about that jam at all. A lot of people are saying it's runny, it's watery, and I believe it's because, you know, obviously what we like in jam, which is the thick consistency, the gelatine or whatever, we all like it like that. We've all got our favourites, haven't we? Clearly, Meghan Markle's jam in a box is not her favourite. Now, here's where it gets fascinating to me, because clearly there's a certain tabloid who's now trying to rewrite the wrongs. You get the picture. And this particular tabloid and this particular writer have decided that, in fact, well, this particular video, the twerking video with Meghan and Harry, doing what? I mean, as he sort of glided across the room, one wondered if there was a problem with his shoes or something. What was he trying to transmit there? Meghan Markle said on the podcast that it showed there was a lot of fun and a lot of happiness going on behind the scenes. No, it just looked like two people dancing around in a hospital room. Don't see where the fun came into that, but there you go. But according to the due team, this is the marketing team that they've hired, you know, well, do keep up. I think this is the fourth or fifth one now. And apparently they're going to make Meghan, well, palatable. Yes, and I think that's going to be tricky in itself, isn't it? Let's be honest. But palatable to this particular generation, Gen Z. Now, if you don't know, chums, we're all very sharp on this channel. We're all educated. Gen Z, of course, is the younger generation. It's a bit like Cliff and the Young Ones from the 60s. You get the picture. But you see, Gen Z apparently were absolutely enamored with this twerking video and the fact that they've really bought into Meghan Markle as a cult. Yes, that's what I said. But what's interesting is it's not true. And as ever, you know, Meghan is paying people to tell her a pack of lies. You see, Gen Z, two things about the brand that Meghan and this particular writer from the tabloid are trying to push is the fact that, well, you know, they like her because she's young and influential. She's 44. I mean, if you're a Gen Z person, you do not look towards Meghan Markle for your pop culture. Secondly, they don't drink predominantly. So why would they want to buy into a very expensive wine that's made cheaply? And thirdly, and this is the feedback that you don't read about that I've seen, is they're not too comfortable with Meghan Markle's jam. Not the fact that it's runny and falling off your knife and it's not spreadable and all of that, but they consider it to be a complete waste by the fact that it comes in a box. You see, the box, which is apparently a memento, a keepsake that you can keep pens in, or, you know, Harry's spine perhaps or something, I don't know. Why would you want to keep a box that your jams are turned up in? It's a ridiculous idea, a very expensive idea that cannot prove to get a return. So while this particular writer, the tabloid newspaper and Meghan's brand new team try to make out that in fact they're disrupting, and basically Gen Z at least are on their side because they consider this a win given the fact that allegedly 42 million people have seen that twerking video. 42 million. Yes, now that's a lot, but if you think about it, how many of those Gen Z people have actually bought any of the product from As Ever? Well, you can't, can you? Because there's only ever 12 pots of jam for sale. You get the picture. Good spin, good story, but as ever, a bit of a tissue of lies. Neil Shawn in the very heart of Yorkshire.